What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another highly combustible reaction. We're going to be jumping into the second one on our Rijksmuseum tour. This one is coming at us via donation from Mikhail. Much love. Who also, I found out he works here. What a place to call your place of employment. A place that is so important to everybody in the whole country. And the whole history of the country itself. That would be a phenomenal cool place to work. That's something you could always tell stories about if you work at a place like this. So I'm excited. Let's jump in. I appreciate each and every one of you who joined us for the first one. Let's roll with this one. Let's see where we're going next.
Richard Wright, who's taken a motif from De Kuyper's original design for the library, a star, and turned it into this bedazzling op art creation. Best experience lying in your back. I think you're allowed to lie on your back in here.
I would lie on my back.
Now, it's not just the museum that's been receiving a makeover. Some of the world's most famous paintings have been getting some pretty special treatment too. When the galleries of the Rijksmuseum are finally open to the public, the whole place will be seething. But while they've been closed, they've taken the opportunity to do some truly innovative research into some of their most precious pictures. I feel like a child who's been sort of allowed free run in a toy shop. That's just amazing to see a naked Rembrandt. And you're actually looking, you're not even looking at the skin, you're looking beneath the skin of the Rembrandt, right?
Hope they explain this, because I'm not sure what the point in x-raying a picture would be. I don't know. Let's find out.
When I ambushed them, they were in the middle of X-raying Rembrandt's 1662 portrait of the Drapers Guild. And their examination reveals, fascinatingly, how he struggled with the composition, especially when it came to placing the servant. Basically, this gentleman there, the only one without the hat, what you're saying is that Rembrandt was thinking, where am I going to put him?
Right.
And where did he start off, do you think?
Well, we think he might have started out on the right, because it's actually almost a finished head, right? And he ended up here, and we can see, if we look at the head of the man in the center, that the head is actually a lot taller than it is today. So we probably moved him here, and then said, let's top off the head, make it a bit smaller, and put him there. Yeah.
Sometimes X-rays of paintings are really boring, because they just show you
How
the painting
in
that's
the
under
world can you tell all of that from an x-ray of a painting? That is intriguing, to be able to tell what a painter may have or may have not planned on doing from the way, is it from the weight that the paint was laid down? Like, how? I'm impressed. I'm intrigued.
Beneath in sketch form, but this is a really top X-ray. But Tim, what's going on over here?
Over here we have a 3D scanner. What we're doing is we're scanning this entire painting. This is the Jewish Bride by Rembrandt.
I know.
And we're scanning it with a resolution of 10 micrometers. This is a 3D scanner. We have two cameras in a stereo setup, and it triangulates each point on the surface of the painting. And we can get a lot of points from this painting, and from that we can create a three-dimensional map of the painting, of the depth. So in this painting he painted with not only thick brush strokes, but also probably put just pieces of dry paint on it.
With his hands.
Correct. And if we scale up the Z resolution, so the depth resolution a bit, we can make renders that look like this. This has been exaggerated 50 times, and you could see the plasters of paint all over here. You can see a squiggle here.
Oh, that's amazing.
You can see drabs of paint going over it.
It's like Arizona.
Yeah.
It's like the painted desert.
What?
It's like...
Or maybe like Mars.
Interesting.
This is the most amazing thing. This really says something about the health of the painting, right? 3 global cracks running along the painting, a lot of small cracks in between.
Could you do me a big favor? Because, as it happens, like Van Gogh, who was obsessed by this painting, used to stand in front of it for hours at a time and said it's the most infinitely sympathetic picture. He was obsessed by that yellow, buttery sleeve he was completely hypnotized by it. And when you look at a Van Gogh sunflower, I think he's...
If you want to look at a Van Gogh sunflower, I have one here as well. Actually, yeah.
Who's this guy? I'm going to take you back to England with me.
Here it comes.
That's a Van Gogh sunflower.
That's a Van Gogh sunflower. You can really see it's younger.
Look at that.
You can really see
Stop
the
it there, stop it.
drabs of paint.
Look at that. That is amazing. I mean, what I love about the way that Van Gogh did the sunflowers is that he uses paint not just as a representational medium, but as
It's almost a sculpture.
Yeah.
No, but really.
If you give me 5.
There we
I
go.
agree, absolutely.
You can see he pointed his brush in there. You can see the hairs running along. It's a bit different.
Every painting through Tim's new lens becomes like a planet. But take me back to the Jewish Bride.
Right.
To me, that's like you've got a helicopter and you're flying over the painting, and the painting turns into a landscape. That's just fantastic. And what an anarchist Rembrandt was.
Yeah.
I mean, what's he put the paint on there with? He could have painted that with his nose. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Wow.
That is really spectacular that you can tell all of that from an X-ray of a painting. I never even thought about how the thickness of paint in certain areas might have shown hesitation, might have shown different things. Like that's very, very interesting.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
At your service.
Great. No, wow. So if you want to see the main draw, the star attraction, look, over here, is the Night Watch, Holland's most iconic painting. It's not just the most important painting in Holland. This is a true national treasure, wonderfully raucous expression of the Dutch national character. Here they are, the burger class, in all their drunken splendor. But look at the size of this picture. It's 16 foot by 12. Getting it into place was almost as big a job as finishing the reconstruction of the museum. Completed in 1642, the Night Watch is Rembrandt's most famous work, far too popular to keep away from public view. So while the main building was being restored, it was always on display in a smaller wing of the museum. And when it was time for it to move back home, it caused quite a stir.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. The Night Watch on a crane, 30 foot above the ground.
Do not drop that. My God, what a mess that would be. No, good. I'm glad it made it safely.
I do think this is more than slightly surreal. The painting is hugely symbolic for the people of Holland in all sorts of ways. Most famous artist, Rembrandt. It's an image of supposedly civic solidarity. So it stands for the nation in a way. It's coming through a triumphal arch. It's a nice touch. It's terribly close to the top of that arch. It's like a football match. They're cheering the painting. There are kids over there. There's thousands of people here. Woo!
Thousands of people showed up to see a painting. Imagine how important said painting is. Like, invaluable.
What a fantastic way to mark the opening of the Rijksmuseum. Can you imagine the French? Can you imagine the French rolling the Mona Lisa through the streets? Only in Holland would this happen. I think it's superb.
We're Dutch. I mean, this national treasure belongs really to everybody. And yeah, it took just a very short distance to bring it from the other building to this building. And yes, we have a crate. And yes, it's on the street. And yes, the sun was shining and everybody was there.
It's fantastic.
So we made it a kind of ceremony.
It most certainly looked like a legitimate ceremony. Like, even though it might have been just a short walk, having thousands of people to show up to see a painting move from one building to another is a spectacular kind of event.
A procession almost.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I think the fascinating thing about the night watch is that in France, the Louvre, its icon is the Mona Lisa, an Italian painting. But for the Rijksmuseum, what makes the Rijksmuseum so special is that it has this national character. It's very much interwoven with the night watch, with the Dutch identity. And complex as that identity is, people kind of still feel this is our national icon. And that's also why there's so much excitement when it's being moved.
The picture's so big, so fragile, so precious that they actually cut a slot into the 19th century brickwork to allow it to be lifted safely. Wow!
At the height
That is some extreme planning that went into getting that painting in place.
the author of this cathedral of art that Kuipers had constructed, there's the night watch. But what does the night watch show? The most important painting of the Netherlands is not a king, it's not a queen, it's not Christ on the cross, no, it's burghers. And they are pharmacists, merchants, and lawyers.
Talk about pride of place. Pride of place. Everything in the museum has been moved around, changed around. Every single work of art is not to be found where it once was, except for this one, the Night Watch. Now, one of the things that's totally unique about the Rijksmuseum as a national museum of art, it's the only one in the world that was constructed entirely around one picture, this picture. The room itself proclaims Rembrandt's genius, tells the story in its inscription of his life, and at the center is this picture, which I suppose
It's an immaculate
to a Dutchman,
room, so beautiful. Everything's so
it's almost a
intricately
talisman, it's a
like
touchstone,
detailed.
It's a symbol of national identity. So wonderful artist, Rembrandt. He is the Shakespeare of painting. Like Shakespeare, he breaks all the rules, and what bubbles through the surface of his canvases is just this profound, unruly, raucous sense of humanity. He is the painter of human beings, as Shakespeare is the writer of human beings. That's what you get. What is it that makes a painting live forever in people's heart and soul? I think one of the most important things is mystery. It's mystery. If you understand it, it's kind of dead.
I agree with that.
And this picture is intensely mysterious. It was the word Van Gogh used about Rembrandt. He is mysterious, so mysterious that he seems to use paint to say things for which we have no words. And at the heart of the painting, for me it's the heart, there is this really enigmatic detail. A little girl lit by that shaft of Rembrandt light. But she has the face of his wife, Saskia, who died in the same year that this picture was delivered. Was this the last time he painted Saskia from the life? But if so, why did he attach her face to the body of a little girl? What's going on? We don't know. I suspect that this is some kind of Rembrandtian tribute to her memory, but in the absence of the man himself,
It remains a mystery. Wow.
When you think about the Rijksmuseum, I mean, it's a museum not just of Dutch art, but also of Dutch history, is it not? And is it important to you that, you know, the people of Holland can come here and, in effect, walk through their own past?
Yeah, history and art go hand in hand, and that's exactly what we want. We have this sense of time and sense of beauty, and we have, if you walk through the galleries, with on every floor a century of Dutch art, culture, history, from the Middle Ages to Mondrian. So you walk into a gallery and you see a ship model or a gun, and next to that a beautiful painting.
very much in Holland now.
So here you're blown away by this
You're
gigantic...
blown away, yeah. It's rather a sort of forbidding opening to a gallery.
This is really the time of the Dutch fighting the Spanish, and one of the...
How many items are there in the whole collection of the
Well,
Rijksmuseum?
there are over 1 million objects. So for us it was incredibly difficult to choose exactly the objects that would tell the story of Dutch art and history. And it was a lengthy process.
I think, personally, I think this is the ugliest painting in the whole of the Rijksmuseum. For me, it's just...
I think it's more than ugly, it's horrific. I mean, it's one of those...
Out of the 1 million things that are owned by the museum, how many are able to be displayed at one time here?
8,000 we chose. And it had a motto where we said, less is more. So we really chose objects that we think show the culture, are beautiful works of art. And
I can't imagine how difficult of a task that would have been. Hey, here's 1 million objects, all of them important to history in some way, shape, or form. Pick out 8,000. Like,
those objects that we think show the culture, are beautiful works of art, and give you a sense of time and a sense of beauty.
They are masterpieces, aren't they?
This also is fantastic, isn't it?
Is this going to be covered with glass or not?
No.
No, because that's one of the things I've noticed. There's a lot of the paintings you've kept naked, I call it. You know, they're not got glass
Yeah,
on.
we feel that you have to be able to appreciate them in that way. And also here, you have to be able to stand face
See
to
the
face
detail.
with the works of art.
there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The end of day 2 of a night at the Rijksmuseum. We still have day 3 and 4 coming up. So far, very, very cool museum. Like I said, I wouldn't be able to pick 8,000 out of 1 million different objects and decide which one was more important, how to display it, that kind of thing. I'm glad someone else had that task, but I'm definitely taking a trip there to see some of these said items, some of these paintings, some of these... It's treasure. That's what it is. It's legitimate treasure for the Netherlands. And hey, I'm glad that we're here learning about it. If you guys enjoyed it, definitely go show the original poster some love down below. I'm going to leave the link to the original video and the channel. Hit the like button if you liked it, the dislike button if you disliked it. Check out one of my other videos up there. Subscribe right here if you want to see more content, possibly your content. Until the next one, I'm highly combustible. You guys be happy, healthy, safe. I love you to the moon and back. Peace.